Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the years are flying by, each one faster than the last. What if that leisurely pace of childhood summers, where each day felt like an eternity, has been replaced by an unrelenting sprint through weeks and months that vanish in the blink of an eye? What if this feeling wasn't just a personal quirk, but a fundamental aspect of human consciousness, deeply intertwined with our journey through life? It's not about time actually speeding up, but the way our brains process and perceive its passage that shapes our experience. Our experience of time is subjective and malleable, a personal construct influenced by a complex interplay of psychological, neurological, and even philosophical factors. We often speak of time as a constant, an objective measure marching forward at a steady pace. But this chronological time, as measured by clocks and calendars, is only part of the story. There's also psychological time, that internal, subjective sense of duration that can stretch and compress depending on our state of mind and the events unfolding around us. This internal clock is far more flexible, capable of expanding during moments of intense focus or excitement and contracting when we're bored or stuck in routine. Vacations, for instance, often seem to last longer than our regular work weeks, despite being the same length. The novelty of new sights, sounds, and activities creates a richer tapestry of memories, making the experience feel more extended in retrospect. At its core, the way we perceive time depends on how our brain prioritizes and stores information. Novel experiences demand more cognitive resources, compelling our brains to meticulously record the new details. This heightened level of processing slows down our subjective experience of time, making it feel richer and more drawn out. In contrast, familiar routines become automated processes, requiring minimal mental effort. The brain essentially runs on autopilot, efficiently processing information without creating strong memory traces. This leads to a compression of time, where weeks and months can blur together into a seamless, almost forgotten, stream. Understanding time perception is more than just an intellectual exercise. It has profound implications for our well-being, our sense of fulfillment, and the overall quality of our lives. A distorted perception of time can lead to feelings of anxiety, regret, or a general sense of dissatisfaction. If life feels like it's constantly slipping away, we may struggle to appreciate the present moment, always chasing after the next achievement or experience without truly savoring the journey. On the other hand, a mindful awareness of time can empower us to make conscious choices about how we spend our days, aligning our actions with our values and creating a life filled with purpose and meaning. Contrast this with feeling as if life is just passing by. We can mindfully engage in the world with intent and control over our sense of fulfillment. If life is perceived as fleeting, it can trigger a sense of urgency, a desire to make the most of each moment. This can be a powerful motivator, driving us to pursue our passions, connect with loved ones, and leave a lasting impact on the world. Yet it can also be a source of stress and overwhelm, particularly if we feel pressured to constantly achieve and experience more. Conversely, a feeling of being disconnected from the present can lead to a sense of apathy, a lack of motivation, and an inability to fully engage with life. The goal, then, is to find a balance, to appreciate the preciousness of time without becoming consumed by anxiety about its passage. Imagine the possibilities if we could consciously influence it, leading to a richer, more present experience. What would change if we could truly slow down time? To fully understand this phenomenon, we must turn to philosophy. Henry Bergson, for example, introduced the concept of duration, challenging the notion of time as a linear, measurable entity. Bergson argued that true time is not a series of discrete moments, but a continuous flow of experience, a becoming that is always in motion. This concept of duration aligns with the idea of subjective time, highlighting the importance of our internal experience in shaping our perception. In psychology, the concept of time dilation further emphasizes the subjectivity of time. suggesting that our emotional state, level of concentration, and the nature of events unfolding around us can all influence how long or short a period of time feels. This is why a moment of intense fear can seem to stretch on forever, while a pleasant afternoon can vanish in an instant. Throughout this video, we will explore the role of memory in shaping our perception of the past, the influence of attention on our experience of the present, and the impact of aging on our sense of time. Memories of novel experiences, for example, feel more vivid and lasting, imprinting themselves more deeply in our minds. Conversely, familiar routines tend to fade into the background, creating a sense that time has compressed. We will also delve into the specific brain regions involved in time perception, such as the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which regulates our circadian rhythms, the basal ganglia, which plays a role in judging the duration of events, and the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in higher-level cognitive functions like planning and decision-making. Novel stimuli grab our attention and create a stronger memory trace. We will touch upon psychological phenomena such as the oddball effect and habituation, and explore how they influence our experience. But what are the hidden dangers of living life on autopilot, letting routines and habits dictate our experience of time? This can lead to a sense of disconnection from the present moment, a feeling that life is slipping away unnoticed. It's a problem that affects many people, creating a sense of shared concern and a desire for change. Why does time seem to speed up as we age, and are we destined to experience life as a blur? Can we actually do anything to change our perception of time, or are we at the mercy of our brains? The problem is, what can we do about it? Fortunately, there are antidotes to this autopilot mode. By consciously focusing on the present moment, we can regain a sense of control over our perception of time. By the end of this video, you'll learn specific techniques for cultivating a richer, more present experience of life, slowing down time's perceived passage, and making the most of each moment. Stay tuned to discover how you can reclaim your time and live a more fulfilling life. So, we've established that our perception of time isn't fixed, but rather a fluid experience shaped by our minds and brains. But how exactly does this happen? What are the specific psychological mechanisms at play, and how can understanding them help us regain control over our experience of time? One key factor is the oddball effect. Imagine you're sitting in a quiet room, and suddenly a loud, unexpected noise erupts. That moment likely seems to stretch, doesn't it? This is because novel or unexpected stimuli grab our attention, demanding more cognitive resources and creating a richer memory trace. This heightened processing slows down our subjective experience of time, making the moment feel more prolonged. The brain allocates more resources to process this new information, essentially creating more memory points for that moment. Consider this in contrast to the experience of a seasoned firefighter entering a burning building. While the situation would create extreme stress and the oddball effect in a normal person, their training allows them to overcome this, demonstrating the power of the mind when facing time-altering experiences. Are you truly experiencing something if you aren't taking it all in? Conversely, habituation is the process by which we become accustomed to familiar stimuli, leading to a compression of perceived time. Think about driving the same route to work every day. Initially, each turn, each landmark is consciously noted, but over time, the route becomes automatic, requiring minimal mental effort. As we become habituated to it, the drive seems to take less time because our brains are no longer actively processing the experience. The automated brain processes take over from novel brain processes. This is why vacations often feel longer in retrospect. New sights, sounds, and experiences create a denser tapestry of memories compared to the blur of familiar routines. Our emotional states also profoundly influence our perception of time. Recall a moment of intense fear or stress, perhaps a car accident. Many people report that time seemed to slow down, almost as if they were watching the events unfold in slow motion. This time dilation is linked to the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, which becomes highly active during stressful experiences. The release of stress hormones further enhances memory formation, creating a vivid and lasting impression of the event. It's as if our brains are trying to capture every detail to help us learn from the experience and avoid similar situations in the future. How can we use this knowledge to affect our perception of time? So, how can we counteract the effects of habituation and emotional reactivity? Mindfulness practices offer a powerful antidote. By consciously focusing on the present moment, we can expand our awareness and slow down perceived time. Imagine savoring each bite of a meal, paying attention to the textures, flavors, and aromas. Or try a simple mindful breathing exercise, focusing on the sensation of each inhale and exhale. These practices help us break free from the autopilot mode and engage more fully with our experiences. By consciously focusing on the present moment, we can appreciate and store what is novel, enriching our perception of time. To make the ordinary feel novel, mindfulness is a vital tool. Delving deeper, the neurological basis of time perception involves several key brain regions working in concert. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, located in the hypothalamus, acts as our master clock, regulating our circadian rhythms and influencing our sleep-wake cycles. The basal ganglia, a group of structures involved in motor control, also plays a crucial role in timing, particularly in judging the duration of events. And the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center, is involved in higher-level cognitive functions like planning, decision-making, and working memory, all of which contribute to our perception of time. Damage to the prefrontal cortex, for example, can impair the ability to estimate time intervals, highlighting its importance in cognitive timing. It's like the conductor of an orchestra, coordinating the various instruments to create a cohesive sense of time. Dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, also plays a significant role in time perception. Higher dopamine levels can speed up our perception of time, while lower levels can slow it down. This explains why stimulants like caffeine, which increase dopamine levels, can make time seem to fly by. Conversely, certain medical conditions that affect dopamine production can lead to a slower perception of time. The experience of pleasure can distort time perception, making it feel either fleeting or expansive, depending on the intensity and duration of the experience. The brain's remarkable plasticity, its ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, offers another avenue for influencing time perception. Learning new skills and engaging in novel experiences can alter our perception of time by creating new neural pathways and strengthening existing ones. For example, learning a new language or musical instrument requires focused attention and creates a wealth of new sensory and cognitive experiences. This, in turn, can lead to a richer, more detailed perception of time. Can we, therefore, train our brains to perceive time differently? In essence, psychological factors like attention and emotion interact with neurological processes in the brain to shape our subjective experience of time. Our emotional state affects the levels of dopamine released, and this affects our sense of time. It's a complex interplay of mind and brain, constantly recalibrating our internal clock based on the ever-changing landscape of our experiences. But how does this intricate system change as we age? As we age, cognitive decline, such as memory loss and slower processing speed, can contribute to a feeling that time is speeding up. Older adults may find that the years are passing faster because they have fewer new experiences and their memories are less vivid. The ability to recall past memories is vital. Without it, time seems to move more quickly. Childhood memories often feel distant and long ago, while more recent events feel closer, highlighting the way that memories shape our perception of the past and influence our sense of time's passage. What happens when those memories begin to fade? Our priorities and values also shift as we age, leading to a different perspective on time. Younger adults may focus on the future, setting goals and striving for achievement. Older adults, on the other hand, may focus more on the present and past, reflecting on their life experiences and seeking meaning in their relationships. It's important to continue pushing oneself, even through aging, to experience more and create new memories. This ensures that time doesn't simply blur into an indistinguishable mass. How can we maintain a sense of purpose and engagement as we grow older? Ultimately, reflecting on time, aging, and mortality can lead to a greater appreciation for life and a desire to make the most of each moment. An awareness of our limited time can be a powerful motivator, inspiring us to pursue our passions, connect with loved ones, and leave a lasting impact on the world. This shouldn't lead to fear, but empowerment, a call to live each day with intention and purpose. By confronting our mortality, we can paradoxically become more fully alive. The compressing effect of routine is powerful. Consider a typical work week. Monday blurs into Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, and before you know it, the weekend arrives, only to vanish just as quickly. Routines and habits, while efficient, can create a sense of monotony and a feeling that time is passing quickly. It is the comfort of repetition that can rob us of the richness of life. How much of our lives do we truly experience versus simply endure? Automation, both in our personal lives and in society, further reduces our conscious awareness and contributes to a feeling of disconnection from the present moment. Think about social media scrolling. It becomes an unconscious action, a time warp where minutes turn into hours without us even realizing it. We're passively consuming information, but not actively engaging with the world around us. This can leave us feeling empty and unfulfilled, as if we've wasted precious time on something meaningless. How can we reclaim our attention from these automated distractions? A lack of novelty and surprise in our lives can also lead to a sense of monotony and a feeling that time is passing quickly. Sticking to the same restaurants, watching the same shows, and engaging in the same activities can create a predictable and uneventful existence. Without new experiences to stimulate our senses and challenge our minds, time can blur into a seamless stream of sameness. Are we truly living if we're not experiencing something new? But there is hope. We can escape this time warp by consciously introducing novelty and mindfulness into our lives. These practices can help us regain a sense of presence and slow down perceived time, allowing us to savor each moment and create lasting memories. By breaking free from these patterns, we can begin to reclaim our time and live a more fulfilling life. So how do we consciously introduce mindfulness and novelty into our daily lives to regain control of our perception of time, to truly make each moment count? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next section. The feeling that time is speeding up stems from a confluence of factors. The waning oddball effect as novelty diminishes, the compressing effect of habituation and routines, age-related neurological changes and cognitive decline, and the shifting of priorities as we mature. All these factors, combined, create a powerful feeling that life is passing by faster than ever before. But the core revelation isn't about fighting this feeling, it's about understanding it. The journey through life inevitably alters our perception of time, and instead of resisting this change, we can find profound fulfillment by consciously curating our experiences. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation, but rather acknowledging the shift and using it as a springboard for positive change, and actively designing our lives to feel rich and full. Mindfulness and novelty are not isolated concepts. They are synergistic forces that amplify our experience of time. Mindfulness allows us to fully immerse ourselves in novel experiences, savoring the details and creating lasting memories. Novelty, in turn, provides the fertile ground for mindful awareness, offering fresh stimuli that captivate our attention and expand our sense of the present. Think about it. A routine walk to a familiar grocery store versus a mindful hike through a new, undiscovered forest. The hike is more likely to create lasting memories, enriching the amount of perceived time due to the newness of the experience. In short, the more automated our experiences, the faster time will seem to slip away. Conversely, the more mindful we are of our experiences, the slower time will move, as we are consciously prioritizing the storage of more information to create new memories. What does it truly mean to live a life of intention? It means aligning our actions with our deepest values and priorities, consciously choosing how we spend our time and energy rather than sleepwalking through life. Instead of passively reacting to external demands, we proactively create experiences that resonate with our passions, whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, immersing ourselves in creative pursuits, or contributing to a cause that ignites our soul. Consider someone who dedicates their free time to volunteering at an animal shelter versus someone who spends their evenings passively watching television. The volunteer is more likely to experience a sense of purpose and fulfillment, enriching their perception of time. Furthermore, an acute awareness of our finite time on this earth serves as a potent catalyst for avoiding regret and cultivating a profound sense of fulfillment. By intentionally making the most of each fleeting moment and actively seeking out meaningful experiences, we pave the way for a life filled with satisfaction and contentment, a life we can look back upon without the sting of missed opportunities. Stories abound of individuals who lived lives free of regret, chasing their dreams, making a tangible difference in the world, and forging deep, meaningful connections with others. These are the lives that expand time, leaving an enduring legacy that transcends the limitations of mortality. There's an undeniable connection between how we perceive time and our overall well-being. A distorted perception of time, characterized by a feeling of acceleration, can fuel feelings of anxiety, chronic stress, and deep dissatisfaction. By consciously influencing our perception of time, we hold the key to unlocking improved mental and emotional health. We do this by tapping into the power of mindfulness to reduce stress and cultivate a serene sense of calm and presence. We should embrace the philosophical concept of memento mori, remembering our mortality. Far from being morbid, this practice can awaken us to the preciousness of each moment, instilling a profound sense of gratitude for the gift of life. It's a call to live fully and authentically, recognizing the impermanence of all things. Let's directly address the questions that sparked this exploration. Why does time seem to speed up as we age, and can we do anything to alter this phenomenon? Time, in its objective, measurable sense, doesn't actually accelerate. Instead, our subjective perception of time undergoes a transformation, shaped by the complex interplay of psychological and neurological factors we've discussed. But while we can't halt the relentless march of time itself, we possess the remarkable capacity to influence our experience of it. By consciously engaging with the present moment, actively seeking novel experiences, and diligently cultivating mindfulness, we can slow down perceived time, enriching our lives with depth, meaning, and lasting memories. Therefore, we must shift from being passive observers of time's passage to becoming active architects of our own experience. This entails embracing responsibility for our thoughts, actions, and choices, consciously curating a life that resonates with our deepest values and aspirations. Instead of drifting along on autopilot, we seize the reins and intentionally design a life that is both meaningful and deeply fulfilling. Each day we can make the conscious decision to live with power and intention, or we can live in a repetitive, automated manner where time seems to speed up and our lives feel like they're passing before our very eyes. Looking ahead, the concepts we've explored hold vast potential for future applications. Imagine understanding how time perception influences our relationships, enabling us to be more present and engaged with loved ones. Consider how it can inform our approach to personal growth, guiding us toward experiences that expand our horizons and enrich our souls. And ponder how it can shape societal issues, fostering a greater awareness of the importance of living in the present moment and valuing our shared human experience. What other hidden factors might influence our perception of time? Could technology be harnessed to enhance our experience of time rather than detract from it? And what invaluable lessons can we glean from different cultures regarding time and its profound significance? Now, I issue a call to action, urging you to reflect on your own experiences with time perception. Experiment with the mindfulness exercises we've discussed. Step outside your comfort zone and explore new activities, and most importantly, engage in a meaningful dialogue with your fellow viewers in the comments below. Share your insights, personal strategies for slowing down time, and any questions that have been sparked by this exploration. I'll leave you with a powerful quote by Annie Dillard. How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives.